All right, so this is factoring polynomials. So we've practiced multiplying them. Now the trick is, see, can you go backwards? If I give you a polynomial like this, x squared plus 6x plus 5, can you tell me what were the two parentheses, if you will, that made x squared plus 6x plus 5? So we're going to work backwards, and we're going to remember a couple tricks. This first term, this is usually made by these first two terms here. And the last term, kind of the same deal. The last term is usually made by multiplying these two together. The middle one, now this is where it gets tricky, because you remember the middle one, this probably started off as some x term and another x term, and we combined those together to get this middle term. So somehow that's related to all these. Let's start with the beginning, the blue one, the x squared. There is only one way to get x to the power 2 multiplying two things. All right, the only way you can get that is if it's x times x. So these first two things in our parentheses, the first two terms, must have been an x and an x. That's the only way you can multiply and get x to the power 2. So that leaves the other numbers. We know that they multiply to make the two pink numbers, these last two terms. We know they multiply to make 5. But we also know that, they're going to multiply, they're going to be, each one of them by itself is going to be here, whatever this is and whatever this is. We know that they're going to add up to make the 6, because they're going to end up multiplying the x's, and they're going to combine together to make 6. So we know that while they multiply to 5, they're going to add up to make this middle term, 6. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to 5 and add up to 6. We can go through a whole bunch of different combinations, but the easiest way is to figure out what are all the ways of multiplying to make 5, and then see if there's some way that adds to 6. There's only one way I know, 5 times 1. Do these two numbers happen to add up to 6? They do. These two numbers here must have been a 5 and a 1, and it doesn't matter where I put them. No, it's not going to matter, because if it did, we could just switch it around. So x squared plus 6x plus 5 must have been x plus 5 times x plus 1. Let's do it down here to make sure we're right. X plus 5 times x plus 1. X is going to multiply the x and the 1. The 5 is going to multiply the x and the 1. X times x is x squared. X times 1 is 1x. 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times 1 is 5. And if I combine those like terms in the middle, I get x squared plus 6x plus 5. What we start off with. So again, recapping. This is the most basic polynomial. You know that the first term, there's only one way to get it, an x times an x. That's how we got the two x's here. For these other two, they're going to tell us what these two other numbers are. This number is going to be what it multiplies to. This is going to be what the two numbers will add up to. So two numbers have to multiply to make 5, add up to make 6. In our case, it was a 5 and a 1. Next time, we'll show you another one, another example with different numbers.